Hi everyone, my name is Pauline and welcome to Bite of Books. So today I come with my week 1 update of the reading quest. I will link the video where I talk more about what it is and what my TBR for that supposedly is. So week 1 is completed and it's been really good. I have actually gotten a lot of reading done. So for that I picked the Path of the Rogue, and the first 2 days I focused on reading a banned book, which was The Catcher in the Rye, and I finished it in the second day, and I didn't really love it as I thought I would, because it was the main character is very whiny. He doesn't really like anything. He complains just about everything. Um, I get that he's supposed to be a cynic and all of that, but I mean, he is very young. He's supposed to be like 16 and just he's been expelled from school, and what he decides to do is go to New York and basically spend a bunch of money. Um, and yeah, I mean, it just didn't really go with my style or my way of thinking. Um, like I get the perspective, but it was not something that I enjoyed. So, yeah, too bad. And then the next book that I read was a book with a cover that had a partially obscured face, and for that I read Worlds of Ink and Shadow, which was actually really, really good. I really enjoyed this. I have not read any of the Bronte sisters' books besides Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. I did not like Wuthering Heights. I found Heathcliff to be very possessive of Catherine, and he just did not sit with me well. But this book talks about the siblings, and it's a book where the siblings have this power to travel into the worlds that they are writing about. And as they do this, they they can create the characters and interact with them as well as the world that they are creating. And it's really interesting seeing the interaction between the siblings, because a lot of what was written in the book actually happened, like the illnesses that they had, how they were in orphanages, or not orphanages, in boarding schools, and the death of the other older two sisters from consumption or tuberculosis. And all of that comes into the book, which is really quite beautifully written, but there were some parts that I thought that it was not well with the flow of the book. I thought it could have flown a lot better. Um, and I also feel like if I had read Jane Eyre or some of the other books by the sisters, I would have enjoyed it a lot more, because I feel like a lot of it relies on the reader um, actually knowing about the motivations between or behind the characters that are fictional in the worlds that they are exploring. And so yeah, I did enjoy it, but it wasn't completely like a 5-star book. But it was a good fast read. So I read this one also in 2 days. And then I started reading um, Drinkcultura by Jose Antonio Barciaga. And this was a really awesome read. It has a series of essays about what um, the Chicano movement is about, also about what it means to be a Chicano, what it means to be Mexican and also American at the same time, what it means to not fit in either in Mexico or in the United States, wherever that might be. And even when you are in the United States and you meet other Chicanos or other Mexicans, you don't have the same background really, because if you come from the South, you have different tastes of food and different um, customs and traditions, and if you come from the north, you have others. And so it's a really, really interesting book about all of those perspectives and about the struggles that the Chicano movement has gone through in the years since its conception. And I really, really enjoyed it. There are some parts that are really, really funny, some parts that are really sad, others that are really just still ring so true nowadays that it really asks the reader to reconsider how much we have grown as a society and how much we still have yet to go. So, excellent book. I did take my time with it. It took me, I think, 2.5 days, 2, 3 days, even though it's really short, because every time I read one of the essays, I would just keep thinking about it, and I would talk about it with my mom, and yeah, so it was just a really, really interesting read. I highly recommend it if you are at all interested in learning about the Chicana culture, or if you want to connect with those who are also Chicanos and who might connect with some things that come in here. And then my sister once again asked me to read a book. So I did the mini game, which is to read a graphic novel, novella, or poetry collection. And we found the second installment of Legend of Zelda: Twilight Princess at Barnes & Noble, so we immediately bought it. And it's really good. Like I said, this manga follows the story of Legend of Zelda: Twilight Princess, and in this one we get to see the first boss that Link encounters. But it isn't exactly like a video game. It is told more in the perspective from Link himself, like his emotions are very much explored, but we also get the perspective of the evil characters. So even the minions, the ones that are doing all the hard work and kidnapping the kids and everything, like we get to see what they're thinking and everything. So it's actually really, really interesting, and it's a very quick read. So I got that one out of the way, and so I read those 4 books, and I think it was a really good week of reading so far. And right now I am reading another graphic novel, which is My Brother's Husband. I just couldn't stay away from it. Honestly, it's like it's been in my pile for a few days, like maybe a week or two, and I had been saving it for after this reading quest, but I just couldn't help it. So I'm just going to take this one and use it for the open world mini game or side quest, because I just couldn't stay away from it, and it's excellent. I am almost done with it. I am like right there, so I have very little to go, and I'm really enjoying it. I just saw that there's a volume 2, so I'm going to be looking for that one as well. And that's basically it. Tomorrow, or maybe later today, I will also be I also started this, which is the Fourth World of the Hoppies, which is to do the challenge of a book published by a small press. And this is published by the University of New Mexico Press. And it is basically all of the legends and traditions of the Hoppies. And it's really, really interesting so far. Like, I'm on page 20. But we really get, like, what the creation of the world and all of their beliefs on how the world came to be, and how and why they moved from one place to another. And it is nonfiction, but it is fiction. So it's about their legends. So it's really, really interesting. So yeah, I'm gonna keep reading this one, and then might start reading Snuff along with the Fourth World of the Hoppies, just because I know that the Hoppies are going to be kind of a slower read, just because it's a little bit more technical. And so yeah, so I'll be reading those next, and that's it for today. I will... Oh, points, right. So with the points, I am keeping track of them in this little chart. I don't know if you can see, but basically you have like each day 13, 14, 15, which is the date in the year, and then the level I'm at with the XP and HP, and then each day I try to record how many points I have from that day, and I'll add it to the previous day. But of course I messed up at one point, and then I just had to kind of add up all the pages that I had read through the whole week and then add it at the end. But yeah, I mean it's working so far, and I hope it keeps going like that. And then I also have the whole the quests or the challenges for each character here, and so I have like tentative like titles of things that I might use, like for example good omens for this or something like that. So this is what I'm using to record everything and keep track of everything that I'm reading. And yeah, so that's pretty much it for today. I will leave here on this side, I don't know which side, I will have a graphic with the points that I have accumulated so far. Right now I'm at level 2 because I have accumulated 55 experience points. And yeah, so I will see you next week with another update of the reading quest. I will talk to you soon. Bye.